Welcome to the course! My name is Daniel and I'm so excited to teach you how to be a badass functional programmer with Scala and cats in this course. This video will serve as a very short introduction to how the course is structured and how to approach it. So, first, I want you to check your welcome email, which contains some important information about the course, as well as a receipt at the bottom of the email to reimburse this course with your employer if you need it. Now, in addition, this welcome email contains a very important purple button here to join our conversation on our private Slack community, where I and fellow students will answer questions and we will share various kinds of materials like videos and conferences and books and employment opportunities and ideas and so on and so forth. So create a Slack account if you don't have one and join us there. Pause the video if you need, and I'm going to welcome you in our private Slack community at Rock the JVM. So this was the first thing that I want you to do in preparation for this course. The second thing that I'm going to ask you to do, which I'm pretty sure you have already done, is go to jetbrains.com/idea and install IntelliJ IDEA, the development environment for Java and Scala. I'm expecting that you're already a very well-versed Scala programmer, so I'm pretty sure you have this already installed, but just in case some pandemic or a solar flare wiped out your IntelliJ IDEA from your computer, just go to this website and then click download, and then click the black download button for the community edition for Java and Scala. And at the first launch, the wizard will ask you if you want to install the featured Scala plugin, which of course that I'll recommend that you do install for this course. If you don't have IntelliJ IDEA, pause the video and install it now. Now, once you have a development environment already set up on your computer, the third thing that I'm going to ask you to do is go to our repository for this course at github.com/rockthejvm/cats course. So this will be the repository where we will store the code that we're going to write in this course. And of course, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and clone this repository, which you can either clone as a Git repository in the Git command line or download as zip if you don't happen to know how to use Git. All right, so clone this repository, unzip the file if you've downloaded it as zip, and then open the folder as an IntelliJ project. So pause the video and do that now if you haven't done so already. And after you've cloned this repository, I'm going to ask you to navigate to its directory and run this command, git checkout start. This will set the repository at the state that it was in before I start writing any code on camera. All right, so we're going to build everything in this course from scratch, and you're going to write almost 2,000 lines of code, actually more than 2,000 lines of code with me. And we're going to do everything from scratch, and I'm going to ask you to start from this start tag. Now, just in case you don't know how to use Git, click on this tag icon at the top of the page. And when you see the start tag here in this one row table, you have this small zip link which you can use to download the state of the repository at that time as a zip file. So unzip that and open the resulting folder in IntelliJ. Now, regardless of which method you use, I'm going to ask you to open the project in IntelliJ after you've downloaded or checked out the start state of the repository. Now, after you've done that, the project in IntelliJ should look something like this. So let me walk you through the structure of this very simple repository. So we have the project folder cats here, and .idea and the project folders are IntelliJ specific. We're going to be spending most of our time under the source folder and respectively under source main Scala, where we are going to create dedicated packages for respective chapters in this course. And current students from Rock the JVM are probably already aware of this structure that I like to follow. And currently we have a single package called Playground and a single application called Playground. I'm going to go through it in a moment. The important bit is that this project contains a build SBT with the cats core library already set up. So if you change something very minor in this file, for example, change the version of this particular project, like version 0.2, which doesn't really matter, IntelliJ will pop up this invisible little widget to import or load SBT changes. So click this button over here, and if you have an older version of IntelliJ, IntelliJ will ask you to import changes in some sort of pop-up here in the bottom right. All right, so click on import changes or this button over here, regardless of which one you use, to make sure that IntelliJ can download the CATS core library that we are going to use in this course. And SBT will take a little bit of time to download the appropriate libraries for you. It shouldn't be too long. And after you've done that, we can go to the playground application, which is a plain object playground with a main method printing something to the console, where I'm using a CATS specific type called eval. We're going to discuss eval later in the course, but in case you are not seeing anything red here or any compilation errors in this file, then that means the library was successfully downloaded by IntelliJ. So if you run this application, we should be seeing something along the lines of computing abstractions and the meaning of life, and then the value 42. So if you see something like this in your console, then that means the library has been correctly set up, and we are ready to start writing code with CATS. Alright, so project-wise we should be ready to go. Now before we move on to the next video, let's move on and discuss the structure of the course a little bit so we know what to expect. So in this chapter we will do a little bit of an introduction on the kind of coding patterns that we are going to use in this course, and for that we are going to recap some Scala fundamentals and the type class pattern, which is crucial to understanding CATS. Alright, so we are going to go through a little bit of an introduction in this chapter, and after that we're going to explore the most popular type classes in CATS, including semigroups, monoids, functors, and the dreaded or the infamous M word, monads. We're going to be spending quite a bit of time on monads. After that, I'm going to go a little bit of a detour, and we are going to run through some data processing tools that CATS offers in a purely functional way, including readers, writers, evaluation, state, and the validated types, such that we can get some more experience writing purely functional code with higher kind of types, so that we can fetch some examples for the later and more obscure type classes that we are going to explore in the later part of the course. So after that, we are going to explore some of the more abstract type classes, including apply, applicative, traverse, foldables, and many more. So we are going to expand upon a pretty big type class hierarchy, which I hope that by the end of this course will become second nature to you. And at the very end, I'm also going to throw a little bit of a bonus content for some more advanced functional programming concepts in CATS, so that you can understand even the weirdest of code, including functor variants and Kleisli. Now, granted, I'm expecting that most of the words here on screen are already pretty alien, so I'm not going to be wasting more of your time, but rather I'm going to be straight to the point and welcome you into the next video, where I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to make the best out of this course.